One of the penalties for refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. Opinion is the medium between knowledge and ignorance. Thinking, the talking of the soul with itself. Dictatorship naturally arises out of democracy, and the most aggravated form of tyranny and slavery out of the most extreme liberty. We are twice armed if we fight with faith. People are like dirt. They can either nourish you and help you grow as a person, or they can stunt your growth and make you wilt and die. No man should bring children into the world who is unwilling to persevere to the end in their nature and education. There are two things a person should never be angry at: what they can help and what they cannot. Necessity, the mother of invention. There is no harm in repeating a good thing. Let parents bequeath to their children not riches, but the spirit of reverence. Good people do not need laws to tell them to act responsibly, while bad people will find a way around the laws. The beginning is the most important part of the work. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. There are three classes of men: lovers of wisdom, lovers of honor, and lovers of gain. If a man neglects education, he walks lame to the end of his life. Justice in the life and conduct of the state is possible only as first it resides in the hearts and souls of the citizen. This city is what it is because our citizens are what they are. No one is a friend to his friend who does not love in return. Knowledge becomes evil if the aim be not virtuous. Never forgive a friend who betrayed you once; he will betray you again. The punishment which the wise suffer who refuse to take part in the government is to live under the government of worse men. Nothing in the affairs of men is worthy of great anxiety. To prefer evil to good is not in human nature, and when a man is compelled to choose one of two evils, no one will choose the greater when he might have the less. Love is a serious mental disease. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. To be conquered by yourself is of all things most shameful and vile. For a man to conquer himself is the first and noblest of all victories. The empty vessel makes the loudest sound. At the touch of love, everyone becomes a poet. Truth is the beginning of every good to the gods, and of every good to man. Honesty is for the most part less profitable than dishonesty. Attention to health is life's greatest hindrance. It is right to give every man his due. Love is the joy of the good, the wonder of the wise, the amazement of the gods. Music is the movement of sound to reach the soul for the education of its virtue. He who commits injustice is ever made more wretched than he who suffers it. Human behavior flows from three main sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge. A good decision is based on knowledge and not on numbers. The measure of a man is what he does with power. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. Courage is knowing what not to fear. Justice means minding one's own business and not meddling with other men's concerns. All the gold which is under or upon the earth is not enough to give in exchange for virtue. The direction in which education starts a man will determine his future in life. Astronomy compels the soul to look upwards and leads us from this world to another. Death is not the worst that can happen to men. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. When the mind is thinking, it is talking to itself.